That's a really good question. What to say to pastors and to congregations about what's the first step? In the Bible, in the book of Ephesians, there is that word that's spoken to Gentiles at the beginning of chapter 2 that's so crucial for us. The first word is remember. And there's a work of memory that is now upon us as we think about the land. That should become a part of the life of every church. Do you know the history of the dirt here? Do you as a community know? Down to the specific of this building in this place. Every church ought to be filled with people who who know the stories and who have learned the stories and become the storytellers with others, especially if they have indigenous peoples nearby, the storytellers of this land. What was here before the church? How was this land formed? How was this community formed? The city formed? How did property work? How did it come about? We need first that sense of memory to know, because as I always say, there is so much already that the Spirit of God can do with us and in us when we learn, when we know. So, for example, when a church finds out that what stands behind its existence in a particular place is a history of theft, of cheating, of pushing people out, that's already a work that the church needs to take. Okay, well, there's a work of repentance. There's a work of truth telling that we have to now understand, but just by knowing that. And then beyond that, there's a work of connection. If there are people who we know were moved, harmed, but and they still exist, or their children exist, or their grandchildren or great grandchildren. So that's already a first step. And then once we press as deeply as we can into memory, then we come forward and ask, how does the land work now? How is it being made to work? There's so many people now who understand that the land has been turned into an unwilling laborer. In many cases, it's been enslaved. And so what we have to do is come forward and say, okay, how is the land being worked now? And this is not just a matter of, how is it being sliced and diced, into smaller and smaller units for whatever purposes, but how is it being used? Where is it becoming a dumping ground? Where is the dirt being so mutilated that it's crying out in pain? And then we move forward into, okay, let's look at what is being built on top of the land. Now we're coming to housing and the built environment and real estate. And what are we coming to now? We're coming to the morality or immorality of zoning. We have to come to that, because if there's anything in the Western world that Christians have never, ever mounted a serious attempt to address, is the morality or immorality of zoning law. And that is the site of so much evil and mischief in this world. And we have never, as a community, I mean, there is no national organization for the moral rethinking of zoning laws. There's no local organization, and that's an indictment, right? So, looking back and moving forward, there is much work to be done.